We all know David Weiss from DITRH, don't we?
Okay. They show us pictures of Mars, which are Devon Island in Greenland. Okay. The one on the left is Devon Island, and on the one on the right is Mars. They tell us.
Well, recently, he interviewed this guy.
Do you believe me though?
No, not at all.
You don't believe that you're
No.
wrong? You guys want to see what it is? You want to see your new favorite color?
Oh. Yes. Oh my god.
Who apparently has come out as a flat earther. The thing is, I can't quite figure out if Connor's demeanour is just him or if he's monumentally taking the mick. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Flat Earth Friday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a quick thank you from the sponsors of today's video, DataCamp. DataCamp is an online learning platform that makes it easy to build data analytical skills, and you can learn at your own pace with interactive courses and hands-on exercises. There are over 350 courses and interactive learning experiences, which means you can acquire skills faster. This Introduction to Data Science course is absolutely perfect for me. I love data, I love playing around with it, but I don't know much about data science. So this is something I'm really looking forward to getting into. It's absolutely fascinating to see what data can really do. With DataCamp, you can combine video classes with practical exercises and skills assessments to help guide you. And their lessons are bite-sized, which means they can fit to your schedule. And their mobile version lets you learn from anywhere. Plus, you can take a free assessment which gives you personalised learning recommendations to help you grow your data skills. Subscriptions start at $25 for unlimited access to their courses, and there's no credit card required at sign-up. Invest in yourself, use my link in the description and check out the first chapter of any course you want for free. Right, back to today's video where influencer Connor Murphy is now apparently a flat earther. Let's watch on, shall we?
So wait, you already know the earth is flat. What are we talking about?
Okay, well, kind of. So I believe it's flat from a certain perspective. So I'm the kind of person that thinks that reality is subjective and that there's no objective truth. And that's so from one given perspective, the earth is flat, and from another, the earth is round, and that's perfectly fine. I say that the closest to objective truth, I would say, my opinion, is that the earth is donut shaped and there's a black hole at the center, and that no one really has figured that out yet, but that's just my opinion.
He has to be winding David Weiss up here. Has to be.
Is the donut flat on the surface or is it rounded?
Yeah, so I would say that it gets really flat near the surface, but then it's rounded. And so I think that's the good happy medium for everyone to agree upon. I think
Do you have
that's
any
what we should
receipts
say.
for that? Do you have any measurements? Do you have any test observations that show this?
Of course he doesn't, David. He's winding you up.
I don't. It is completely just my opinion. But so no, I would like to hear some of your tests and stuff like that, and why you think the earth is flat.
Well, this video right here from a balloon at 120,000 feet looks flat. It's not spinning out from underneath me at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Sun's not 93 million miles away. It's right there.
Oh my word, look how small those people are. They can fit inside this shoe. Incredible. I mean, it looks like they're that small, so they must be, right?
Interesting.
Every ancient culture before NASA came around thought the earth was a flat plane. And when we say flat, there's high points, low points, but it's flat. Large bodies of water at rest lay flat. Like the globers go, look, I put some water on an orange, and even though it fell off, the orange still has water on it. And if you put it into scale, that's the whole ocean. No, it's not.
Yeah, that would be because of surface tension, but to scale, it would probably be roughly the same depth as the ocean. The thing is, we can't replicate that here on Earth, because if you pour water on a ball, the water seems to be attracted to the even bigger ball that you're stood on. Funny that. If we do something similar on the ISS, then we can see that it does work. Now, of course, this is a weightless environment as the ISS is in orbit. However, that's irrelevant because it shows how water can behave in a way which you say it can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Large bodies of water at rest lay flat, period. The earth is an extended plane and we live within a pond within that plane.
Yeah. An interesting theory is a lot of people believe that. So there's a big Antarctica like ice wall, right? And that's past the ice wall, there's actually more of just this giant plain, and that's where all the mythical creatures live. You know, like the unicorns and like the dragons and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. That's just a theory of mine.
Okay, at this point, I was 99.9% sure that Connor was taking the mickey here. Had to be. And of course, David isn't understanding this. But I guess 99.9% isn't 100%.
That makes more sense than, coming from outer space. And
Yeah.
Sorry, the possibility of unicorns and dragons living in a frozen wasteland beyond Antarctica on a flat Earth seems more plausible than space. Come on now, David, you don't actually think that, do you?
If you look, there's more land. Here's a map. It could be rings like this, right?
Yeah.
Where you have this extra territory out here. It could just be we're the only pond and it's all ice,
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows?
We know, guys, because we've been to space. We have pictures of Earth from space.
Have you watched the EWAR series that came out recently?
No, I haven't.
Well, he one of the things he talks about is the moon being a reflection showing the true Earth map. But taking that, I think there's something there. But
this is what Ranty was banging on about shortly before he saw sense and came back to the globe.
If this green area, and these circles here are our known world, our pond, imagine everything outside of this is this outer white line would be the beginning of Antarctica, what we call Antarctica. And so the rest of this land is all frozen. And this progresses around 15 degrees every 2,160 years. So we go through all of the 12 zodiacs, and that explains precession. And it's the migrate. It explains mud floods. It explains ice ages. It explains a lot of things. So our magnetic center moves around slowly. So our puddle migrates with it. So, this area would freeze over if it's going this way.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And then this would melt. And we'd have new areas. Now, there's been, Antarctica once was not covered in ice.
Yes, that's called continental drift. Also provable, and the mechanics of which are excellent evidence for a spherical Earth with a core.
Maybe, they're showing parts of Antarctica where it wasn't. And now, that we're, soon, in 2,000 years or so, this will be called Antarctica. Right here.
Interesting.
Because the puddle has moved this way.
And the ice caps and stuff are melting. And so that could explain why that's happening.
Right, and here's your black donut hole in the middle with our magnetic ring around.
Exactly.
Now, this is
so
all
it migrates around the donut.
I have not many receipts for this, although this is the moon. And boy, when you line up the continents and the places and the islands, there's too many things to be a coincidence.
Yes, because Africa is that big compared to everything else. And what even is going on over on the right-hand side? Utter nonsense.
So Is it reflecting the Earth, or is it kind of a map of the Earth for, the people that were here before idiocracy took over the world, and they could look up and see that what age we're in? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
It's interesting. So yeah, one thing I want to say to my fans, because obviously like most of my fans are going to be round earthers.
Normal people.
And again, I'm kind of, I don't know. So that's the thing. I think it's important for a lot of people to admit, especially the round earthers, that they don't know. You know what I mean? There's at least they got.
Here's the thing: round earthers, I call them globs. Like globs. They don't know their own model.
Well, granted, most people don't understand every little intricate part of the globe, or as you call it, the globe model. But us debunkers certainly do.
And what they think our model is completely wrong. We're completely wrong, right? They think that we're a disc flying in space, right? They think that, that we're a pancake in space. Nobody, no flat earther thinks that.
I know they don't. You forget, David, I've been deep in this community for 3.5 years. I know what you all think and believe, and trust me, it is all, every single piece of it, entirely debunkable.
Okay? They don't know the motions of the heliocentric world that they think they live in. We're spinning, twirling, whirling, we're corkscrewing through space at unimaginable speeds and distances, but somehow the stars never change, right? They don't notice. Witsit gets it. Who's he's doing a USA tour, going around and just doing street activism. He's offering $100 if anyone can answer 3 questions about the Earth.
Oh, $100. Nice. Here we go.
And the first question, he tells you ahead of time. He goes, how many rotations does the Earth do in 24 hours?
Easy. 1.
Right? And then the next question is, how far is the sun? And no one knows.
150 million kilometers, give or take a few million kilometers, depending on the time of year.
And these are the people that defend the globe. They believe in the globe. They think that flat earthers are crazy, but they can't tell you one relevant thing about this ridiculous model that they think they believe in.
Which is a massive straw man. That is not how we move through space. To start with, it's immensely out of scale and we're moving way too fast. Yes, the speeds involved are huge, but space is immense. It makes the speeds involved look like a snail doing a marathon. And we aren't traveling sideways either. It's more like 50 or 60 degrees. This is one of the most ridiculous anti-globe pictures or clips I've ever seen. It is purely ridiculous.
Right, exactly. So I'm honest enough to admit my ignorance, and so I'm encouraging people to be open-minded, because as kids we were tricked into believing that Santa Claus was real. So how do we know that we're not being tricked by the government? There are a lot of conspiracy theories by the government that have proven to be true.
Our government would never trick us. They're here for our health and for our well-being.
What's hilarious, of course, is that David would be the first one moaning if there wasn't a government.
So what's interesting? There are so many conspiracy theories that have been proven to be true, like the Tuskegee experiment, where they gave black African Americans syphilis, actually, to experiment on them, and that's been proven to be true. So there's all these conspiracy theories and horrible things that they've done that have proven to be true, and people just think that they're just all out for our better good.
Do you know the difference between a conspiracy theory and a fact?
What is it?
About 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Good one, David. You are an accomplished comedian, aren't you?
So again, there's a lot of people, like, I don't know if you know Owen Benjamin. He was talking about the moon landings and stuff, and then he thought flat earth was stupid, had me on, he saw it right away. But he doesn't call himself a flat earther, and I like it. He calls himself a realm earther because he doesn't know what this place is.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things like we were just talking about: rings, puddles, no puddles, right? Dome, no dome. But what we all know is it's not a spinning ball flying through an infinite space vacuum.
So you don't know what it is, but you're 100% sure that it's not a globe. That's like me saying, I don't know how we breathe, but I 100% know that oxygen doesn't exist.
That's just physically impossible and scientifically provably impossible.
I like that. I'm going to call myself a realm earther because, it's some sort of a cool little mystical realm that we live in, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on,
Exactly.
I love it.
If you look at NASA in their underwater swimming pool where they do all of their SpaceX stuff, there's a big poster on the wall. I'm trying to find it as I'm talking to you, that shows a Vitruvian man inside of a dome with a rocket trying to break through, and scuba divers. Where the heck did it go? Zoom doesn't let me organize these things. They just put random, then it moves them just when I'm thinking about it. So I'm trying to find the picture of it.
Bloody Zoom. Come on, David, you can find it.
Right.
It's like they always tell us it's right in our faces when they do it. Here's a close up of it. So this is on their wall in their National Buoyancy Lab where they have a replica of the space shuttle underneath in a blacked out room with green screens, right?
Wow.
And they have scuba divers in there moving people around. But if you look right here, there's a rocket trying to break through the dome.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh dear, they really grab hold of every little thing, don't they? Let's move on a bit as David starts to explain about eclipses on a flat Earth. This should be interesting.
Check this out. So this is an experiment a guy did. So you got your sun right here, and then you got your moon, and the moon is actually smaller than the sun, and we'll show them together. It's smaller proportionally. It's not. So we move the light away, and then we're going to eclipse it with the moon penny, and we're going to try to recreate the eclipse. And it's not really looking like what an eclipse looks. You got the glare. You don't really get the corona.
Why would you get a corona? Does that torch have a 1 million degree atmosphere? No. And besides, there's loads of light reflecting off the table beneath it. And that torch is really close to you as well. Scale matters here.
It just doesn't work. But then we take it in a second. There's another light on this flashlight, which is smaller, which is the same size as the penny. It's hard to see, but it's the same size as the penny. So we're going to turn that on, and we're not going to move it 93 million miles away. And we're just going to eclipse it with the penny and watch what happens. That looks like an eclipse. And when it goes to totality, this is, if you watch an eclipse, that's what it looks like when you got your corona.
David, 5 minutes ago, you were saying that we don't understand our own model, and here I am correcting you about it. The corona isn't a thin veil of light that we see around the edge of an eclipse. The corona is the sun's atmosphere, which is often seen as a white halo during eclipse. Bloody hell, David, come on, mate.
And that's showing you, to make an eclipse that looks like this, you have to have the two objects have to be close.
Interesting.
Penny, real eclipse, penny.
Wouldn't the penny be like farther away though?
I think that the sun and the moon are very, very, very close within the Earth system. And I don't believe that the sun and the moon that we see are the actual real sun and moon. I believe that they're being projected into our reality, and the real action is taking place above the dome.
That's it, I'm done. I can't stand any more. Of course, David will have no evidence whatsoever of his claims here. What I find most interesting about this video is you can find it on Conor Murphy's channel, but you can't find it on DITRH's channel, which is confusing because he normally puts up every single interview he ever does on his channel. Is that because he knew that Conor was taking the mick? Or was he serious? Who knows? Either way, you can see that David Weiss continues to peddle his nonsense, and we continue to debunk it. And if Conor Murphy is, by some mere chance, watching this, or someone out there knows him, then please pass a message on to him. I would love to interview him as well. Well, that's it for this week's Flat Earth Friday. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then please do like and subscribe as well. Just enough time to once again thank DataCamp for sponsoring today's video. Remember to check out the first chapter of any course completely for free. Click my link in the description. I have been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great weekend, and I'll see you all on Tuesday for the return of Levin, who, if you remember, tried to debunk the ISS. See you then.